Oh boy, Nintendo responded to my clamshell idea for the Nintendo Switch Lite. Oh, I hope they like it. Ah well, I guess we'll just have to check out their take on it instead. Hello fellow gamers, and we'll be checking out the new Pokémon Sword and Shield Switch Lite. As you can imagine, I'm asked a lot about the new Switch Lite. Is it a good enough system to get? Is it worth getting? And to be honest, that's really down to your own personal preference. I hadn't even tried one. So that is partially the reason that I keep telling people that I picked up the new version of the Switch Lite. It's the one with Zacian and Zamazenta on the back. Those are the legendary Pokemon from the new Pokémon Sword and Shield that's coming out in November of 2019. Hopefully it should be coming out very shortly if you're watching this when it's new. Now I'm going to say right off the bat, it's functionally no different to any other Switch Lite. It's just got a different colour scheme, so don't get too excited about it. But hey, this has given me the opportunity to try out the new Switch Lite and compare it with my my other Switches, so hey, let's take a gander. So when the Switch Lite arrived, I thought I'd give it a quick unboxing and... oh no, I've left my address on there! Oh, I'm sure I can pixelate it out later. So after taking a knife to the box and sliding out the, well, rather snug inner packaging, it's finally presented with my first Switch Lite. And there's a scuff on it. God damn it. Well, still, I got this for the actual Switch, not for the box. You've probably noticed that the box is much smaller. That's because this version of the Switch is not dockable. It's fully handheld mode, so it doesn't need to have a dock in there. So I've just taken it out of the cellophane bag here, and immediately I could tell that it was definitely noticeably lighter than the original Switch. So straight away you'll have noticed the colour scheme of this one. It's got blue controls on the left, and kind of a pinky red colour scheme on the right hand side. The main body of it is all grey, and I noticed it actually had quite a bit of a rough texture to it as well. That's probably helping with the grip. And of course you notice that D-pad on there as well. I'm going to be trying that out in a little bit. The speakers on the Switch Lite are downward facing as opposed to facing towards you. I don't know, I'm imagining that the placement of these speakers here, they're going to get covered up by my hands whilst I'm playing, but I guess we'll find out soon enough if it's okay. Now of course the centrepiece of this is on the back. You can see on the back there, printed artwork of the two legendary Pokemon that were on Sword and Shield, Zacian and Zamazenta. You know, it makes it a rather unique Switch Lite. Definitely worthy of my collection. My initial impressions of this while I was setting it up, it's definitely comfortable in the hand. The base of it fits in the middle of your hand really nicely. And it's definitely comfortably light as well. And after having used this for a few hours, I thought back to when I was using my original Switch in handheld mode. And I've noticed something about that. I'd find that I'm resting my arms or wrists on something when I'm playing the original in portable mode. But with the Switch Lite, absolutely none of that. Something else I'd noticed while I was setting this up was it seems that the Wi-Fi chip on this is not quite as strong as it is on the original Switch. You can see here that I haven't been able to connect to my wireless network, whereas my original Switch here has got 2 bars, 2 out of 3 bars, and it's connected just fine. So I don't know, if you've got some like weak Wi-Fi in your house, you want to take that into account as well. So since this is only a portable system, there's really not much else left in the box. You've got a little handy information leaflet and an official wall charger. And that's it. That's all you get. Now something else I noticed in my initial setup was when I was trying to import the users I've got on my other Switches. It seems that you can't do that until you perform a system update. So you're going to have to create a temporary user on your brand spanking new Switch Lite before you can import any other users. So now we've got ourselves a new video game console, let's play a game on it. That's what it's there for. Now I had a thought about what was going to be the first game that I was going to play on this Switch Lite, and I thought of nothing better than Tetris 99. Because the weekend of this Switch Lite's release was also at the same time that there was an event on Tetris 99 where you could unlock the Pokémon theme. Plus this would have been an excellent way of trying out the D-pad. I gave it a bash with a few rounds and actually yeah, having that D-pad there is really welcome. My hand felt a little bit scrunched up, but that's because I've got average sized adult hands. After playing a few rounds of Tetris 99, I thought we should move on to another game now to try out this Switch Lite. And what better way actually than with another game which I received on the same day as this Switch Lite. I finally got my physical copy of Celeste from Limited Run Games. It's been delayed for months because of the farewell DLC, but that's finally finished, it's been released, and the physical game has now been released and sent out to everyone. And I'd never tried this game before, despite the fact that I've got it on my Xbox already. And I thought, what better way to try this out? Now I already knew that Celeste was like an old school style platformer, and it was tough as nails. But I thought perhaps I could try the D-pad on this as well. But again, I felt that my hand and thumb was all scrunched up when trying to play this. But using the D-pad for any prolonged period of time, especially with a game like this, it wasn't comfortable at all. So I quickly moved over to the analog stick again. I think perhaps the D-pad is there really for choosing options on menus and what have you. Makes things a lot easier. But playing through Celeste on this gave me a bit of an appreciation for the screen that they've used on the Switch Lite. Everything's really bright, really colourful. In fact, I even had to knock down the brightness, it was so bright. But, you know, it's the same resolution screen that's on the original Switch, but it's a smaller physical screen. So the DPI is higher, so everything looks a touch sharper. It's the same as comparing the new 3DS to the new 3DS XL. Same resolution, different size screens, one looks sharper than the other. It's up to you which one you prefer. So I tried out the Switch with quite a few of my games just to see what it's like, how it feels, what it's like to play on. Well, I would say overall that it's actually a rather nice little system. It fits in the hand really well. It's light enough to be able to play without having to rest your wrists or your elbows or arms on anything else like your lap. And the screen is very bright and it's very clear. It is obvious, even to me though, that this is really more of an entry level into the Nintendo Switch ecosystem, as it were. So it's handy for anyone who really doesn't have any interest in playing on TV, just wants to play it in handheld, or it's suitable even for any parents that want to get it for their kid because it's smaller, it's going to be more comfortable for their little hands, and it's going to be a little lighter on their wallet by about £100. And I also think that if you are going to pick up a Switch Lite, try and make it the Pokémon Sword and Shield edition as well. It's very, very pretty. My only concern with that one over all of the others, which are all solid colours, are the prints of the two legendary Pokémon on the back. After several hours of greasy-fingered gaming, are those going to rub off? Only time will tell. But personally, I would still recommend the original Switch. In fact, I would recommend the version of the Switch that has the new energy-efficient processor that this has. They're the ones that you can find in mostly bright red boxes rather than having printed marketing on all sides. The battery life on those ones are longer than the other versions of the Switch, including the Switch Lite. But if you really don't have any interest in playing on the TV, you just want a handheld system, you can't go wrong with this. But anyway, that was my summary of my thoughts and feelings of the Switch Lite, especially the fancy new Pokémon Sword and Shield one. But what are your thoughts on the Switch Lite, or even this new version? Let me know down below in the comments. Now be sure to leave a like or dislike down below, that really helps me out considering YouTube's algorithms and what have you. And, well, I'll catch you all in the next video. Catch you all later.